The holidays are right around the corner, and this is a really fun hors d'oeuvre. I'm just throwing my broiler on here. Angie's here from the Wisconsin Beef Council. What are we making?
Well, we're making a bruschetta.
Which I think of summer tomatoes,
right.
fresh mozzarella cheese.
But this is different.
This is like a wintry...
A wintry, a hearty, a savory, because we're going to use tenderloin.
Beeping at me. Stop that. Okay.
So we're going to do a tenderloin, roasted tenderloin. I think it's called bruschetta because you serve it on crostini bread.
Yep.
And then we're going to make a crab fennel slaw.
Wow, that's going to go on top?
Which goes on top. Sounds really fancy.
Yum, it
but
does.
It's not.
So we got some French bread here, and you can brush it with olive oil or butter and toast it up. And, you know, people think tenderloin is like, oh, that's over my budget. But in this case, we just need a little piece to go on each top of each of these. And, you know, it's really, you're going to get a lot of bang for your buck.
And the nice thing about tenderloin is there's no waste on it. And I would call ahead or stop in and talk to one of your meat department personnel and just say, hey, I'm making a bruschetta. I want a center cut piece, okay? So you want the center cut piece, and it's gonna be a nice long cylinder. 1 pound to 2 pounds will do ya.
Okay, we don't need a whole ton.
You don't need a whole lot because we're gonna slice it thin and make a lot of...
Anything else on these? Just a little oil or butter or cooking spray? Okay, then we're gonna get them and toast them up here. And do not let me forget about these. I'm known at my house for burning the bread. So, all right, now we've got our tenderloin over here.
Yes, this is about a pound and a half.
That's that center cut you were talking about.
Center cut. Now, this tenderloin will only take about 30 minutes.
Okay.
A hot oven, 425 degrees.
When you serve this appetizer, do you want the beef to be hot, or is it something you can make ahead of time? Could it be room temperature?
It's totally your preference.
Okay.
I've had it both ways.
Okay.
I like it both ways.
Okay, all right.
But if you want to serve it hot, do your tenderloin right there the day of your, whenever you need it, about probably 45 minutes in advance.
Okay.
Do it about a half an hour. Just salt and pepper it, a little bit of olive oil if you'd like. It doesn't need much.
Okay, but olive oil, some sort of fat is important, I think, you know. Just
you can just sprinkle a little over the top.
Yep.
That was the kosher salt pepper mix.
Yep.
A rack and a roasting pan. So
now, why that?
The rack, so your air can circulate, because this tenderloin is tender, so we're not roasting it, we're not like braising it, there's no liquid, no cover. We want that air to circulate around it and cook it from the inside.
Do you always do that when you do it?
Yes.
You do, really? Okay.
I do.
All right, so that way the bottom really cooks nicely too.
Yes. If you have a glass pan, just wrap it in foil. Metal works a little better, or just use any 9x13.
What's the temperature you do your tenderloin at?
425.
Okay, so even if you're not doing it for this appetizer, if you're just doing a tenderloin for the holidays, which you're probably bound to, we always do. I love to serve it on New Year's Eve. I do one, and then we slice it up and just serve it on sandwiches or whatever. So 425 is that magic number you're looking for. So then this goes into the oven, and
that goes into the oven.
Meat thermometer action depending on how you want it done.
Yes.
135. I pull mine out for medium rare.
135. Let it rest. 15-20 minutes, and it'll raise to 140, 145. So you got a nice pink center.
Perfect. Okay, now for the slaw that's going to go on top.
The slaw, fennel. 1 fennel bulb. It's kind of different.
Yeah.
Kind of new probably to a lot of people. It was new to me. I've never cooked with it.
Was it hard to find?
No, my supermarket in Reedsburg had it.
Okay, all right.
And it's in the produce section.
Okay.
Now it's a black licorice.
It really is a different flavor.
Maybe not black.
I happen to like it, but we don't use the top of it at all.
Nope.
Those go bye-bye.
And I'm imagining you could buy it just the bulb and they won't have the tops on too.
Those can be a nice garnish, but we're just going to get rid of that. So.
I personally do not like licorice. I do not eat it, but I love this slaw.
Yeah, this is, exactly. Licorice in a different way, I guess, is what we're talking about.
Yeah, I think I'm going to use about half the bulb.
So it almost cuts like celery when you know.
It does.
And it kind of looks like it.
It has a celery texture.
But a very unique flavor. The slaw, can you make that ahead?
Yes.
Okay.
And it might even be better made ahead, because then you've got the dressing on there marinating, and you're going to have a little bit stronger, nicer flavor of your vegetables.
Some of the other ingredients, we've got red cabbage, which is a nice color, some chopped scallion, and then we've got some crab.
Just a lump crab meat.
Or artificial,
the package of legs, and I used about a cup.
Checking on my bread here.
Crab,
got a couple more minutes.
Cup of fennel, about a half a cup of cabbage.
And what's the dressing to bind this together?
We need the olive oil.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of a sesame. Here, put it right in here.
Oh, okay.
Mix it up.
Okay.
A sesame oil.
Ooh, a little Asian flair going on here.
Sesame vinegar.
Okay.
And then about a half a cup of the extra virgin olive oil.
Okay.
2 tablespoons of lemon juice. And I splurge and I get the real lemon. because this is about all we could put in here. And then some salt and pepper.
Okay.
Big pinch of salt and pepper, and that is it.
You get a whisk.
Here's a whisk right here. I got one.
So it's a real light
Real
dressing.
light, but with that lemon juice, real tangy. Okay, you mix that.
You bet. So this you could have done, and maybe even the day ahead, to just really kind of let it marinate.
Now,
That smells good.
I've got a tenderloin I already made. Now, this was a smaller one. I actually bought a 3-pounder, and I cut it in half. And you could freeze, if you wanted to buy a bigger tenderloin, freeze half.
And they do go on sale this time of year, so
next
that's
time.
a great time to buy one.
So I
Ooh, look at
roasted
this bread.
I roasted this one in advance, so we're gonna have it cold.
We're going to let you plate this up. We are about out of time,
Ooh, okay.
so we'll put it all
plate it
together
up.
when we come back. Stay with us.